up and down the floor. My hair isn't anymore, and once there was an animal. It had a son that mowed the lawn. The son was an okay guy. They had a pet dragonfly. The dragonfly ran away, but it came back with a story to say.
Take it off, take it in, take off all the thoughts of what we've been. Take a look, hesitate, take a picture you could never recreate. Write a song, make a note for the note that sits inside your throat. Change the locks, change the scene, change it all, but can't change what we've been. Oh, it all, take it in. Take up all the thoughts of what we've been. Take a look, hesitate. Take a picture you could never recreate. Write a song, make a note for the lump that sits inside your throat. Change your life, change the scene, change it all. Can't change what we've been. Your troubles in my head. 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 Take it all, take it in. All the thoughts of what we've been. Take off all the thoughts of what we've been.
Check 1 2, check 1 2 3, check 1 2. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's up?
Testing it out a
Yeah.
little bit. Okay, because they were.
Yeah.
trying to figure out to make sure-
We're just testing it right now. We're just testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
Check. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I always tell folks we need a little bit more than that, so I'm going to say it again. Good afternoon to everyone. There we go. There we go. That's the Galaxy Life welcome. I want to welcome you all to the Samsung studio here, of course, at Sundance 2016 and to the Deadline Hollywood panel of Yoga Hosers. Are you guys excited for this? Super. We have a phenomenal lineup here of panelists for you all. But just want to let you guys know that this panel is being broadcasted live via the live broadcasting feature on the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. I want to make sure that you guys put your hands together. If you're able to, please stand up and join me in welcoming the moderator of today's panel, senior editor of Deadline Hollywood, Dominic Patton, who will be joined by the writer and director of the film, Kevin Smith, including stars Justin Long, Ralph Garman, Kim Ledford, Liz Destro, the daughter of...
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Okay, I want to ask you, you know this is streaming live. How many of you saw the film at the premiere last night? 3. Now that was a trip.
3 people.
You're going to have an equal trip today. And there were comic books, too. Look at that. Nice. Somebody turn Kevin's mic on.
Hello? Oh, beautiful. I was punching it. That's not how it works. Thanks for coming this morning, everybody. I know it's early and stuff, but we'll try to walk you through the history of this weird fucking film.
It is. But, you know, I'm a Canadian by birth, and I have to tell you,
Were you offended?
You did not shame the country, my friend. Right? Prime Minister
honestly
Trudeau will not be phoning and banning you.
Fantastic, because he's about to legalize weed, so I want to be tight with that man.
Exactly. Then I noticed, by the way, the movie takes place in Winnipeg. You never call it Winterpeg.
No.
Nah.
We left that one out. We thought that was too inside deep cuts.
All right. So Kevin,
but we didn't shoot in Winnipeg. We shot in Los Angeles. I think we're the only film that ever shot in Los Angeles for Canada.
You're gonna kill the tax credits.
I know. I just saw the dude from the Los Angeles Film Commission. He's like, thanks for shooting in Los Angeles. Yeah. And I was like, it was Winnipeg. He goes, that's a good thing, because we could take that movie and show other people, like, California can double for Winnipeg.
Exactly.
And I'm like, how many offers for fucking that do you ever get? Like,
exactly. So listen, Kevin, now you've called Yoga Hosers a mixture of Gremlins and Clueless, right?
No, it's Clueless meets Gremlins.
But it's also a sequel to your last film, 2004's Tusk, which
spin-off.
Justin was in.
Yes.
Justin was in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or as I like to say, I am the walrus. Yes. Now, you know, tell people quickly what this film is about. And I know when I say quickly to Kevin Smith, I know I go get a coffee,
I'll keep it
but we're
tight.
going to keep it quick.
My bad. I will try to keep it tight. Yoga Hosers is not so much a sequel to Tusk as a spin-off. It takes place in the same world, the same way that Mallrats wasn't a sequel to Clerks, but it took place in the same world and stuff. It's about two girls who work at a Canadian convenience store called A to Z, who get invited to a senior party, a 12th graders party, and the invite is interrupted by an ancient evil that rises up from beneath their convenience store. Our villains of the piece are 1 foot tall Canadian Nazis
Played by you.
Played by me. 1 foot tall Canadian Nazis made of bratwurst, and we call them Bratsies. And I put on a bunch of makeup that Bob Kurtzman designed, and then shot against a green screen, and they put me in the flick with the girls. So
let's give a call out to Ralph here as our evil genius from, what are you, like you're 1,000 years old in the movie?
Yeah, roughly. 120, something like that. But I'm well preserved because I am in hibernation. I'm
Temporarily in hibernation.
cryogenically preserved, and then I thaw out at some point in the film. Yeah.
Now, talking about well-preserved, Justin plays a yoga
I
instructor.
just have to say, if you're a fan of Ralph Garman, you have to see this. He does like 5, 6 different brilliant impressions in character. It's an incredible performance. I just want to point it out to you if you it's in, yeah.
And Justin, you're pretty great as a yoga instructor, my man.
Yes.
But I'm talking about Ralph right now. I think, yes, I am. You're right. I shouldn't shy away from that truth.
Now, Kevin, so much of your career, I mean, people obviously know from Clerks and Chasing Amy and Mallrats, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, but you always talk about your career is basically, you write for two guys to talk.
Yeah.
But last night at the premiere, you said, like, this is the movie you'd want to see if you had been a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So, dude, it's,
This is the movie I wanted to see when I was
mean, I love Caitlyn Jenner as much as anybody else, but is that what happened mentally?
No, it's more about, like, when I was a kid, this is the kind of thing that would appeal to me. And, in making the flick, we got 2 girls at the epicenter of it, so you have to write for 15-year-old girls, which, ironically enough, as a 45-year-old man, I found relatively easy. Like, we're kind of in the same maturity wavelength, I guess. Then I handed the script to the ladies, and the ladies brought the authenticity to it. Like, the whole reason it exists in the first place is because on Tusk, we shot with them for half a day. They were really natural. And, like, it's a movie that fucking divides people in a big, bad way. But even people that hate Tusk say that, like, their favorite scene was about the girls.
2 things.
So
One,
I was like,
you're
stopping
me already.
So I was like, maybe if I took, like, the part of the movie that everybody liked and blew that up, that could be fun.
But here's the thing: we don't care about people who don't like Tusk today, right? And
I do. But I got to put this on Front Street. I care about fucking everybody. I've reached a place of maturity at age 45 where I can process it differently. When I was a kid, all my movies were ripped from my real life. So Clerks doesn't exist because one day I was sitting around and be like, it would be amazing, set a movie in a convenience store. It exists because I worked in the convenience store, and I was like, let me just do the story of my life, and I'll change everyone's names. Mallrats is the same thing. Chasing Amy is the same thing. At a certain point, I ran out of real-life stories to tell because I became a filmmaker, which is amazing, but the moment somebody starts paying you to make pretend for a living, you lose any chance of being an interesting human being for the rest of your life. It's a trade-off, and I'll take it. I ain't bitching. I love it and shit. But, like, everything that I used to do in what they call the early good movies I used to make came from reality, came from my real life and stuff. And when I ran out of that material, like, because there's nothing that I could put in a movie taking from my life that would be very interesting anymore. I saved that for the podcast. Talk about real life on the podcast. So now I reach this place where I'm like, I just want to make shit that I couldn't make at the beginning of my career because I wasn't good enough. Like, I was good enough to make Clerks because 2 people sitting talking in black and white. But, like, something like Yoga Hosers, I didn't have the ability to make and stuff. And then granted, some people now would be like, you should have never made it and stuff. But this is the kind of movie that I grew up loving, like fucking rubber monster movies and stuff like that. So in putting it together, man, like, I realized now, like, I watched it last night at the screening. It was wonderful. I had a great time and stuff. But I'm really objective. I'm an editor, not a director, man. I'm really.
So you look at it, you think, I'd cut some stuff out.
Still, to this day, I'll never not think that. I'll watch it 20 years from now and be like, I could have tightened that. But I approach the job now very much just as an editor. Like, I don't feel like a director, and most critics are like, you don't act like a director either. But when I go to set, I shot collect. Like, I don't sit there, like, I didn't talk to the girls and be like, how do you feel in this scene? Like, they're hitting fucking sausages with hockey sticks. It's like, so instead, like, I just shoot a take, and then I bring all the actors, the girls, Justin, whoever, Ralph, over to the monitor. I'm like, let's watch. Just watch what you did. Because actors, like everybody in life, self-correcting, man. So they'll watch themselves, and they want to come across as well as possible. So they start modifying their performance without me saying a word. So I don't really influence the performance that much anymore. Because when you start working with people writing for them, you trust that they're bringing it. I bring the one job that I could do. I know that I can edit, and I know I could get us in and out on schedule, on time every day, because I only shoot what's needed. A lot of people shoot like everything figured out in the editing room, but I shoot it just kind of like, we only need these 2 lines, let's grab that. Then we'll go grab this scene and stuff. So it worked out very well, but it's put me in this wonderful place. It's a long way of getting to this. Back in the day, those movies that were ripped from my life, people write about it and be like, this sucks, and it hurt because, like, yeah, you're saying the movie sucks, but that's my life that the movie came from, so it always felt like a personal attack. with Tusk and Yoga Hosers, they didn't come from my real life. They're like totally fucking made up and stuff like that. So I don't take it as personally. I've had people literally come up to me and do both sides of the coin in either direction. Go like, I love Tusk, it's your best movie. I'm like, isn't it? And I've had people come up to me and be like, fucking Tusk is a piece of shit. And I'm like, isn't it? Like, I get it. Like, it goes both ways. So with Yoga Hosers, man, I was sitting there last night watching it, and I'm like, God, I love it. It's everything that I want it to be. But I could still be objective and be like, I could see why people wouldn't fucking like this as well. Like, I understand both.
Yeah.
I would totally understand.
But one of the things, you say you don't pull for your life, but of course, your daughter is one of the leads in the movie, my man. And, it's very interesting because you were in Tusk, Harley, and then actually, you've been in a lot of your dad's films at various ages of your life, but this is your first lead in the film. Yes. But Kevin, I know, explain to us how the ladies came to be in this film, because it started out with Tusk, and of course there's another member of both Tusk and Yoga Hosers cast who's not here, which of course is Mr. Johnny Depp.
Yes.
You might have heard of him. He's around, well known to some people. But I want to, that story about how Lily Rose and Harley came in this film is a magnificent story that can only be told by you.
It is. It really came down to the largesse of Lily's dad, man. We were shooting Tusk. It was very nice of him to come out and shoot for 2 days. It's a weird fucking movie and stuff. And he was like, this is right up my alley. I contacted him about it, and he was so sweet, man. He was just like, I'm so happy you thought of me. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? But he was like, this is the kind of thing I love doing. So he came to play with us, and the second day we were shooting with him on Tusk, he was going to be shooting with Harley. Harley was going to be playing a clerk in that convenience store. And so Harley, when I came home that night, she was saying, hey, I talked to Lily Rose. She's going to set tomorrow to watch me and Johnny shoot. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. I said, but it's weird. She goes, why? And I was like, well, watching people act is fucking fun, but acting is more fun. Ask her if she wants to be in it. You guys could stand next to each other behind the counter. And so, she was like, all right, I'll ask her. She asked Lily Rose. Lily Rose was like, yeah, I'd do that, but you got to reach out to the parents. So I reached out to Vanessa, and Vanessa was like, fine by me, talk to Johnny. So I sent Johnny an email. It was the night before we were going to work with him the second time. And I was like, hey, man, I had this weird idea. Harley's in the scene tomorrow. Lily's coming to watch. Why don't we put Lily Rose in the scene, too? Because this will probably be our only chance to see what it would look like if our kids got real jobs one day. So let's put them both. And he didn't write back. And I felt like, oh, shit, I crossed the line and stuff. So the next morning I came in, and one of the PAs was like, Mr. Depp wants to see you. And I was like, Johnny's dad is here? Holy shit. And they were like, no, he's in his trailer. And I went to see him. I was like, hey, man. And he was like, Kevin, I just got your email. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about that email. I wrote that last night when I was baked. That's when I have all my worst ideas and stuff. So it just seemed like, but I know you don't put the kids in the movies and stuff. Don't worry about it. He goes, no, honestly, he's going, I've been thinking about it. I think it'd be a real missed opportunity if I didn't do it. I never imagined I'd act with my kids. So if we can do it, can we still do it? And I was like, we could do anything you want, man. Anything. And so we did the thing that responsible parents do. We went to school, yanked our kids out, brought them to a movie set, and we're like, here are your pages. And they rehearsed by themselves for a while, and we were finishing other stuff. And then it came to their scene, and honestly, it was the best day of shooting I ever had in my life. I've had a wonderful career, man, of movies that I enjoy making and stuff. They don't always go for everybody else, but I've always loved them. And in a career of every day I'm on a set, I'm like, I can't fucking believe this is what I'm doing. I used to work at the convenience store, and now I'm shooting a movie in another convenience store. But every day I go to work, I feel kind of breathless about it and shit like that. Going to work with these cats was even more inspiring, because you're seeing a movie come to life through the eyes of people who've never done it before. So, when I worked with them on Tusk for that one day, man, like Johnny said, bring her in. We were on set. They're behind the counter, just like they are in pretty much every scene in the movie. It's Harley and Lily Rose, and I'm on the other side of the counter directing Harley. And Johnny's on the other side of the counter directing Lily Rose. It was so fucking sweet. And then my kid stops listening to me and starts listening to Johnny because he's a good actor and shit. And then we went and did the scene. And the girls were fucking magic, man. She'd been in the movies as a little baby and stuff like that, but never did dialogue. Lily Rose hadn't been in anything. I've heard them talking to each other their whole lives. The movie opens with them doing Anthrax's I'm the Man. They used to do that in the back of the car when I would drive around. I'd play that, so listen to this, kids, it's got curses in it. And they'd sit in the back and
that's
sing it.
The world's greatest car commercial.
It's so awesome. But so, I fell in love with their performance, man. I was sitting next to my wife while we were shooting the Tusk scene, and I kept elbowing her, pointing at the monitor at Harley, going, that actress came out of my balls. real fascinated by the whole process. She knows. And so, you know, when it was all done, that was the last thing we shot. We wrapped on that, and everybody was like, it was great. Like Genesis Rodriguez, I'll never forget, so sweet. She was crying because she's like, we're watching them take their first steps into the circus and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. So when it was all done, cut that scene together, and I love that scene. Of everything in the Tusk, I would constantly show that scene to anybody who came over. I was like, watch this shit. And I showed it to my wife a couple thousand times. She got really fucking sick of it, even though she loves our daughter as well. So on the last time I showed it to her, man, I was like, look at this shit. I cut just a second out of it. It's even better. And she's like, I can't watch it again, dude. I can't. I know you love this, but like, I can't watch it yet again. I was like, why do I love it so much? Is it because like they're wearing smocks?
You hadn't been thinking about making the movie
yet,
like
and
that
I'm getting
yet.
there. I'm getting there. I'm almost there. I was like, I can't. Why do I love this scene? I was like, is it because they're wearing smocks and the smocks look like hockey jerseys and shit like that? Or is it because they just like spend the scene looking at their phones and looking up saying shitty things and looking back and that's all she does in real life anyway and shit like that? Or is it because it's just my kid? And I'm like, that's our kid in the fucking movie. And my wife was awesome. She goes, oh, Kevin, you are so fucking stupid. You just don't see it, do you? You love it because it's two fucking people standing behind a convenience store counter. And I was like, oh God, you're right. It's girl clerks, isn't it, man? I was like, I think I can make that movie. She's like, you already did. And I was like, no, I think I can make it better, but with girls this time.
In Canada.
In Canada.
In color.
But in Los Angeles, for real.
Sorry, yeah.
So it started like that. And then I asked the girls, I was like, I think I could write a whole movie for you guys. Would you guys be into it if we went on a whole adventure like Nancy Drew as the Hardy Boys in Canada? And they were into it and stuff. And then I asked Vanessa, and she was like, oh, God, that'd be fun. Asked Johnny, and then Johnny loved playing Guy Lapointe. Like, when we were done with Tusk, after shooting that scene, he came over and he was pointing at the girls because everyone was hugging the girls and like blowing them up like, you guys were great. And we were standing in the back of the room and he goes, did you see that? Did you see how natural they were? I was like, they were crazy natural. He goes, if you and I had any brains, we'd retire and live off these girls.
Wow. The thing is, you know, I have to say, Lily Rose, having seen the debut last night, I don't think your dad's going to be the most famous member of the Depp family in the next few years. I mean, no, she's amazing in this film. Both of you are amazing. And Harley, I wanted to ask you, like, what was it like being directed by your dad?
I mean, it was awesome. It was like he takes a lot of like him being a director is not much different than the way he acts around everybody else. Like he just makes it such a comfortable and happy, positive environment, which is what he does in real life too. But so
that was a well-rehearsed response right there.
Welcome.
That's why she's
do you have
raise.
Do you have a birthday coming up soon?
I'm trying to be good. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, he just made it awesome. It wasn't like when people ask me like, was it horrible? Like, was he like mean to you or something? It's like, no, he's like the nicest guy ever. And him directing is just like, it was just hanging out with my dad and stuff.
Lily Rose, I mean, this is your first feature. Is it your first time on screen?
After Tusk.
After Tusk,
yeah.
After Tusk. Mm-hmm. How did it feel for you? I mean, obviously coming from your parents, you've been on movie sets your whole life, but this is your thing, and this is you. Like, this is Lily Rose. This isn't the daughter of anybody. This is you.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I hadn't had like any experience whatsoever when we shot that scene in Tusk, and like I just did it because I was like, oh, it'll be fun, and like, you know, I get to like do a scene with my friend and like work with like people that I've known. So I didn't really think too much of it when we did that. And then I just like fell in love with it when I started doing it, and that's when I like decided this is what I want to do and stuff. So yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I like, you know, discovering like that's what I wanted to do by like actually doing it. It's not like it was like a preconceived like I want to be an actor. Like it just kind of happened that way, and like I'm just like really lucky that I got to work with such an incredible like cast and crew and stuff, especially for like my first movie because I was so nervous and stuff. And like Kevin like is just like such a great person to work with, and he treats everybody like, you know, cast, crew, whatever, just with the same level of respect, and yeah, it's a really good environment, and everybody like got along really well. So yeah, it was great.
Is it something you want to do more of?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, you guys were so, you know, you said it earlier, like you guys are so natural on screen together, so natural. Have you guys known each other for a long time?
Since we were 5.
So this is like, that was pretty easy then. Have you guys, you know, he talked about the singing, but at the end you guys do a rockin' version of O Canada.
Oh yeah.
I think, is that on the album?
Yeah.
Nice.
All their songs are on the album. Yeah. The stuff you guys sing.
Didn't know.
You have to be. Well, I didn't know that you wanted to be fucking Harley Quinn in the movie. I read that in the Hollywood Reporter. They did a piece on us, and I read the piece, and it said like, Harley wants to play Harley Quinn in a movie, her namesake in a movie and stuff one day. And like I share like a house with her. And we talk comic books all the time. And she was never like, I want to play Harley Quinn one day. It was weird to read that in print. What else don't I fucking know? It's a weird role reversal at this point, man.
Ralph, in the movie, Justin mentions it. It's true. It's amazing. You do, how many impressions do you do? 5?
I think 5 different voices.
5, and is that, and then there's the Nazi voice.
And then the German accent, for the Nazi.
Now, when you guys were working on this, you do Pacino, you do Schwarzenegger. Trying to remember who else.
Edwin. TV's Batman.
Stallone.
Adam West. Stallone. Sylvester Stallone.
Now, how did you guys decide which ones you're going to do, or did Ralph just riff?
Well, it's a weird story because originally I wasn't the original actor who was supposed to play Andronicus Arcane. It was supposed to be the brilliant actor Michael Parks.
From Tusk, the guy who played
the big bad in Tusk. And he became unavailable, and it was close here because we're pretty close to starting production.
Like a week out.
And so Kevin came to me, and I said, what's going on with Yoko Hosers? He goes, well, it looks like Parks isn't going to be able to play the Nazi. I was like, oh, shit, what are you going to do? And he said, I don't know, why don't you do it? And I was like, oh, shit, really? Okay, let's do it. And then Kevin went back and rewrote the entire role for me, adding different elements of things that he knew I could do and have fun with. So, I mean, you talk about a director and how much respect he has for everyone that he works with, but he's also an enormously generous guy, and he loves talent. And if you work with him, he will set you up to succeed, which is nice.
This is that's very sweet, but it's not completely altruistic and stuff. Like I've sat next to Ralph for the better part of 5 years doing a podcast, Hollywood Babylon. And the first time I sat down, I knew him from K-Rock. He's on the Kevin and Bean morning show there. And anytime I went in, that's where we'd talk and stuff. So before we did that podcast, like I remember doing an episode of Smodcast where I sat down, we were talking to Scott Mosier, and one of the things we talked about was like, is there any lower form of entertainment than an impressionist? Somebody who just sounds like somebody else and shit. And I went and sat down with Ralph for 5 years across the world, dude, not just Los Angeles. We sell out every week at the Improv, thanks to him being on K-Rock, but we've been in fucking London, Canada and stuff. The dude kills a room with the same 5 impressions every time. Like, utterly destroys and owns a room. So when I was like, hey, man, do you want to play the guy? He was like, totally. The first thing I said was like, I'm a believer. I've watched an impressionist destroy a room. I'm going to have him do all of his best. So I just kind of rewrote the villain to be able to pull those impressions, man. And it was wonderful. Like, he was so well suited for it. Like, I don't... When I put stuff together, like I take the Gretzky approach, which is like assist. You know, any way you can, just get them the assist. Set them up, and they will fucking put it through the 5.
We're paying Kevin to make Canadian references.
So yeah, that's how he wound up in, man, and it's great. I love when I watch it. So much of the movie is influenced by that podcast that we did, not just his impressions, but like the German characters and shit like that. All comes out of Babylon as well.
Justin, I have 2 questions for you. One, you know, this is your second film you've made with Kevin, correct?
Third, well, fifth in a weird way. I mean,
yeah.
We did Die Hard together, and then we did a little
more. Yeah.
We both survived Bruce Willis together.
Another panel, my friend.
All together.
Yes. One that I probably won't be on. And then, we did a couple. So then Zach and Mary, he directed and did a little part. So it was, yeah. And I love it. I mean, what Ralph said is very true. Kevin also has a great sense of play and curiosity, and he loves actors, and he loves seeing actors really in their element and having fun, and it's just sets such a great tone on set, such a kind of playful environment.
You know, a few years ago, I interviewed Jason Lee, and as I said, I love Mallrats, one of my all-time, and of course, there's another one coming. Right?
Yeah,
right.
Mallrats too.
And you know, Jason said something to me. He said one of the things he loved about working with you is you just made it so much fun. So I wanted to get a sense, going from the producers all the way down. What's the most fun you had on this movie?
Pressure's on. Liz was ready for a producer question, and she's like, fun? What the fuck?
I think Kevin,
Gotta get right up in it.
yeah, I think there was like a learning curve for us because I'm so used to directors needing so much, and I was very nervous about his approach at first. So me and him were like, at first we were like kind of sussing each other out, trying to figure out how this was going to work, and then after a couple of weeks, it just, like you said, he just edits while he's working. So I'm like, are you sure you're comfortable with that amount of footage? Are you sure that's what you need? But after a while, like it just all comes to, it all works.
So you guys didn't really like each other?
No, I wouldn't say that. But now we definitely have a better understanding of each other and how we work. Now we love each other.
She's an excellent producer, but I don't need a lot of handling in terms of like, I just shoot what I need and stuff. So for the first 2 weeks, I'd be like, we got it, moving on. She'd be like,
Storyboard?
you got it? No, we don't storyboard.
Because you're so into comics.
We did have 2 scenes storyboarded on this movie. Holy shit, I forgot because we didn't use them. But we did the work. That's all that counts and stuff. In terms of the fun factor, man, it's always about like, just set up a playing field where everyone's having a good time. Like, this is the only reason I do this show. I don't do it for the money, although the money's nice and stuff, but like, you know, low budget film, there is really no cash. I certainly don't do it for fucking respect, because Tuscan Yoga Hosers tells you a different story altogether. I do it because I like being around actors. It's my favorite thing in the world, man. I love performers. I love the lie that tells the truth. Somebody can get up and just start fucking talking extemporaneously and telling you lies at 1,000 times a second about who they are, where they're from, who they love, what happened to their fucking dog, why the king is after him or whatever. And somehow we believe him. It's a suspension of disbelief, if you will. It's magic trick, man. There's no real like witchcraft in the world or wizardry and shit. Closest thing we have are the magic words come out of a performer's mouth. So I love that. Like, I've always loved that since I was a kid. I can't do it, so I love being around people that can do it really well. So when I go to play, all I want to do is see them have fun, because good material will come out of that. And I tend, like 22 years in, I tend not to think about what will people think. Because I've learned like so many times over, you can't make a hit. You know what I'm saying? Even The Force Awakens, you know, there was someone somewhere in an office going, what if it doesn't work? You know, like somewhere there's always, you can't guarantee what if the box office will be. So in that world, you might as well just like have the best fucking time possible and fill the movie with as many like wonderful funny moments or human moments that you can go like, you can hang your hat on. You know, the whole movie maybe doesn't work, whatever the fuck, but it's like, this works, this works, this works. And we had a good time doing it. As long as you keep that budget low, you could do that. You can't be that, you can't have that philosophy on like an Avengers movie. Like, let's all have a good fucking time. No, not at all. I saw those interviews with Joss Whedon. He was like, not a good time at all. So, but on a movie like this, if you got the budget low and everybody's like, yeah, it's a fucking hoot, man. It's like sausage, Nazi sausages. Let's go for it. You have a good time. It's a real fucking party atmosphere. And it was a real family film, because it's not just the literal blood relatives in it, but like all of these people are a big part of my life, and hopefully vice versa and stuff. But honestly, I got to shout out Kim Ledford over a second one in the chair. Without Kim, I have absolutely nothing. How this movie happened was we were working with Kim on a movie, Comes the Krampus, it was called. And then later on, we titled it Anti-Claus. So we were going to do that first. We were going to go shoot in Germantown in Pennsylvania and stuff. And the budget was like, I think $3 million or something. And then in the middle of this, like the Yoga Hosers thing kind of sprang to life. So I asked Kim, I was like, I got like this weird idea about making a movie with 2 girls as the lead. I have this dream of a poster with 2 girls standing next to each other on it, because you never really see that. When you see a teen girl on a poster, she's surrounded by other teen girls, some of them with arrows and shit like that, and there's fire behind them and stuff, or they're running through mazes. But generally speaking...
What movie would that be, Kevin?
I'm not sure. But it's been so long, like most of my stuff, posters of just 2 dudes standing there next to each other, and I had this weird dream about like, wouldn't it be great to have 2 girls standing next to each other? So in pursuit of that, man, we kind of, I turned to Kim and I was like, we got this window that we could do something right now before the girls go back to school and stuff. Everyone's on board. Do you think we could pull this together instead of Krampus, put Krampus to the side and do this? And God damn it, dude, that was 2 months before we started shooting. 2 months later, we were in production. Kim went and found the budget.
That's crazy fast.
It's crazy. The whole thing was
That was
4
all
months,
you?
and that was all Kim, man.
So would that be your answer to the most fun? I pulled this off?
No, I think, just the whole thing was so much fun, you know. It truly was a family affair. You know, we had Jack Depp, Lily Rose, Harley Quinn, Kevin, Jen, Harley's mom, and Johnny, and Vanessa, and Harley's grandparents. I mean, it was really fantastic and a lot of fun. And we shot during the holidays. So we shot first in the summer, but we had to take a hiatus because Johnny was working on a film. So we all came back during Christmas, actually. We were able to find a crew that would, work for Kevin. Anyone wants to work for Kevin. I mean, he's just so much fun to work with. And so we came back, and then Johnny brought Lily Rose a dog. So during Christmas, it was so awesome. It was just a lot of fun.
You got a dog for Christmas?
No, I got her a while before. She just came on set one day.
Okay.
She's in the movie.
Rescued a dog.
She's in the movie.
She's in the movie.
She was a baby when she came on set, and when I saw her in the scene at the end of the movie yesterday, I realized like how much of a beast she is now. She was so tiny and cute. She's cute now, but she's just way bigger.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it was this on. It was my birthday, and she brought a puppy. Somebody else brought a kitten. Some people were stopping by set, and everyone's like, "This is the craziest set I've ever been on." Like,
It was very
there's
much like a
animals,
kids'
there's,
movie set. Like there were puppies and kittens and a lot of Instagramming and stuff. We all felt young. All us old people were like fucking energy vampires sucking off the kids because they brought such vitality to the process. And everything about it for them was like, "What's this? What's this?" You get to explain, like, you know how awesome it is for a DP to explain to somebody what an eye line is? They never really get to do it. But like James Laxton, the girls were like, "What's an eye line?" And our DP was just like, "Well, let me tell you." And it's like a 20-minute conversation where he got to be a teacher. Like that was the kind of mood everyone approached the flick with. And, you know, you got to be there with the spirit of fun because it's certainly, we're not searching for a thesis on the human condition with this movie at all. So not only was it fun, but it was like family fun. Just happened to have fucking Nazis in it as well.
Now, Ralph, speaking of Nazis, Ralph, what was your favorite part?
My most fun I had nothing to do with my performance because I'm usually in a state of panic whenever I'm working on a film constantly. But we were shooting a bunch of scenes to explain my character's background. And it was scenes of me in a laboratory and me as a sculptor. And we were shooting a bunch of stuff. And on that same day, we were also shooting a lot of Kevin's stuff as the Bratzies. And I had never seen what the characters were going to look like. And although Kevin is very playful on a set, he's also very focused because he feels a certain responsibility to get the job done and to move things along. And so he came out of the makeup room ready to work, dressed from head to toe as a giant sausage with a knot on top of his head and all just very shiny and smooth. And he looked like a giant walking sausage. And he came out of the room and said, "All right, let's get to work." And it floored me. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world to see focused Kevin Smith dressed up as a giant hot dog.
And that was before he had gotten the part.
Right, exactly, yes. And then they said, "Hey, we should put him in the movie."
Justin, for you, there's this great, when you see the movie, there's this great scene where Justin, I don't want to give it away too much, but your character is dealing with ongoing harassing phone calls, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
And there's this great scene where you're talking to what I guess is a Warner Brothers lawyer, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I like the idea that there was a guy who was so filled with rage and so kind of angry, and he masqueraded as this like peaceful, Zen-loving yogi. I like that. I thought it was a funny contradiction. Who knows? No, I don't know if anyone else will. But but I was going to say really quickly the great thing. I was just thinking about Kevin. I remember the moment I fell in love with him as a director, working with him. He had written this part that I was doing in Zack and Mary Make a Porno, where I played a gay porn star, and he had written that I was in all these movies called Poo Punchers, the Poo Punchers series, and a friend of mine, which was really funny, it made me laugh and the whole script made me, the whole scene. I couldn't wait to do it, and my friend had worked at this restaurant in Chelsea called the Viceroy, and he overheard. He was the only straight waiter who worked there, and he would overhear like great sound bites of these guys in Chelsea who were massive, really muscular guys. And one said to his boyfriend, he overheard the sound bite. He said, "You better shut your mouth, or I'm going to kiss it." And it was this really aggressive, and I always thought it was the funniest thing. It was the funniest line. And I remember thinking at the time, like, oh God, I'd love to be able to say that one day. I'd love to. So I asked Kevin, and I was very afraid to because I really looked up to Kevin as a filmmaker and as a writer, more importantly. And so to ask somebody to mess with their script like that, the script that was already funny. So I did it very tentatively, and I said, "Do you mind if I say this line?" And he goes, "Fuck yeah, man, say it." And I said it in the scene, and I could hear him laughing behind it. And he wanted me to keep saying it and riff on it. And he has this great sense of, he loves discovery, and he sets his ego aside. And it was at that moment that I knew I always wanted to work with him. I mean, it was just the most flexible, like comfortable environment to work in. And he would keep the camera going, long after the take was done, just because he enjoyed seeing what was happening. And that sense of enjoyment and that sense of joy was something that I felt, in spades with these guys on Yoga Hosers. So I was just happy to be, I did a little part, and I was just happy to come play in that sandbox.
Lily Rose, for you, what was the most fun you had in this movie? And did it involve a hockey stick?
That was really fun, learning the routine and everything. But I think just the best part of it was just like discovering everything for the first time. Obviously, because it was both of our like first times like acting and everything. So I think, yeah, like discovering just like everything that goes on, like eye line and like stuff like that. Just like think like, remember they like the thing where they measure the light or whatever, where they put it up to your face to measure the light. They put it like there, and I thought they were trying to take a picture of my mouth, like my teeth or something. So I was like smiled. And, but I think just discovering like everything for the first time was so like crazy and surreal, and also like just getting to work with people really for the first time, getting to like act with people, and like and we're just lucky that it turns out everybody we worked with we got along with and was like really talented and sweet, and again, just Kevin's so great to work with, and it's not the kind of thing where it's like, no, that doesn't work, it's this, and this. It's like, like everybody said, he's so open to like what we want to add to it and what we think could work and whatever, and it's really like more of a collaboration than somebody telling you what to do and like doing it. So that was awesome.
Harley?
Every day was just so fun. There's like 5 seconds when you wake up in the morning where you're like, what's going on in my life right now? And then like when I would remember each day, like even if it was at like 5 or 6 in the morning, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to wake up. But then I would remember like, oh, I'm going to go shoot this. And then I was like, okay, let's go. Like, I'm so ready. And just like every single day, I was so happy. It was so fun being with so many people that I love, and like not just like my family and like my friends and stuff, but like people that I've looked up to for a long time and who I admire from TV shows or movies that I've loved and have like shaped my opinion on acting and stuff. But every day was so fun. Like there were cute animals, and like there was one day where someone was like, do you want a massage? And I was like, what? And they were like, there's a massage person here, they can come to your trailer. And I was like,
oh, I thought you meant it was like Justin Long. I was like, what the fuck?
Justin was like, yeah, do you want a massage?
I trusted you, Walrus.
But
Can't do that, Justin.
No, he was all nice.
I was in character.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, Harley, you should know that it's not always going to be this nice. It's not always going to be like this. Set a high bar.
It's a high bar to reach, but it was like the best month or however long it was of my life. It was so fun, and
I've never seen you laugh harder than the time you guys were on set. We have one blooper, and it's not in the movie, but one blooper total, because the girls were like always on point. But we were doing this scene where they're kind of rushing away. They're calling Stan Lee to tell him like there are Nazi sausages in the store.
Stan Lee's in
the movie, spoilers. And he's the lonely dispatcher, the lonely Winnipeg dispatcher. So they're calling him, and it's a real, and so we did it like 3 times, and I'm like, say it even faster, like you're out of breath. And the line was just like, hello. This is the A to Z. We've got there's sausages. There are bratwursts here, Nazi bratwursts that look like Adolf Hitler or something like that. Come get us. And so we did it like 3 times. It was good. We got 2, and then they would turn around and crawl away. So we were on like the 3rd take. I was like, do this one like faster. Just go like breathlessly out of breath. And so Lily Rose has the first line, and she's going, how fast? I was like, fast as you can, man. And she's like, okay. I go, action. She goes, hello, this is hello. And immediately stopping, like, that's not right. And this one was like, ah! Nothing in the movie was as funny as that to her.
So funny, like, I can't even tell you. I laughed for like hours. Like, no one could get work done, because I was like, I remember when she said hello, this is hello.
Now, Matt, is this your 4th Sundance film?
Yeah, this is let me see, I've been to 22 years ago, I came
way
here.
Back in the day with Clerks?
This is my 10th trip in 22 years, 4th time as a filmmaker. And it's because of all these people here. It's definitely because of fucking Kim. But really, it starts with the 2 girls. Like, and I told them that last night before we went up. I was like, I can't thank you both enough. Like, Sundance is my Lazarus Pit, if you're familiar with the Batman lore. Ra's al Ghul has to go to the Lazarus Pit periodically.
I believe you're asking me that in front of people with the camera. Dude,
I know,
later we talk.
I know, some people know Ra's al Ghul from the movies or something like that. But in the comics, he goes to the Lazarus Pit, is renewed, and he's fucking made young again and stuff. Sundance, for me, professionally, has always been my Lazarus Pit. Like, so much of my good fortune in life is tied to this town. Like, as I came up here 2 to 3 days ago, driving around, everywhere I look is a fucking memory. It's like, oh my God, I went to see a movie yesterday at the Prospector Square. That's where Chasing Amy got a standing ovation. I went to eat at a place where Harvey Weinstein bought our movie from us. Like, past the Egyptian, we screened there for the 3rd time, and that was our final screening of Clerks and stuff. So everywhere I look, it's just kind of like, oh my God, without this place, I have nothing. And I saw Redford talk at the director's brunch, which I'd never gone to. And all
You've never been to the director's brunch?
we tried 22 years ago. Me and Scott Mosier, we drove up to Sundance because it's up in a separate part over at Sundance. And we got to like what is the lift area, and we looked around, we couldn't find it, and we were fucking in our 20s. We're like, fuck it, let's go. And we just left. And so I never got to go. 2 other times I was here as a filmmaker, never tried to go. This year, though, it was like Saturday morning, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm an adult. I should be able to accomplish this. I'm gonna go for the ride. Took a beautiful ride up through the mountains and stuff. Got up there, again, couldn't find it and almost left and shit. And then some skiers were like, Silent Bob. And we started taking pictures. And then one of them was like, you looking for the movie thing? I said, yeah, where's the movie thing? He's like, it's right there. And if that dude had been there 22 years ago, I could have gone to the fucking brunch. So there was the building, and I was like, holy shit, like I made it. I felt accomplished and shit. So I went inside, and I saw like faces from my entire childhood of Sundance, all the way up till now, people I've known forever and whatnot. And then Cooper got up to start the address, introduced all the programmers, which was really fucking special, because he's talking to all the filmmakers in the room, reminding us, going like, these people that stood up, they programmed your movie. They're the reason that you're here. You should meet them.
I think that's always one thing about Sundance. It's full of unsung heroes.
Yes.
From the programmers to the filmmakers to the people like, I remember one year dealing with a guy who's like, I think he was the guy who like, he was the tape guy.
Yeah.
Like, and people are like, or like 1 year you come, the guy's the driver. 2 years later, he's got a film he's producing here.
Dude, Trevor Groth, who is like the most coveted email address in indie film. Yeah. Trevor Groth, when I met him 22 years ago, and I keep telling him, he's like, I'm tired of this fucking story. But when I met him 22 years ago, he was Trevor the print trafficker. So I had to find him to give him my print of the film. And my first interaction with him was like, don't fucking break this, you know? And he was like, we won't, we're good at this. And I was like, I'm serious, this cost me $3,000. Don't fucking lose this. And I've known that dude for 22 years. He was the guy I reached out to. We were at San Diego Comic-Con. And I was like, I'm gonna drop Trevor a line, because I didn't know what to do with Yoga Hosers. I didn't think it was a festival film. But I was like, let me see if maybe it is. So I hit him up and I was like, hey man, like I got a movie. I don't even know if it's Sundance or not, but you want to take a look at it just in case? And he did, and we got like invited in the summertime. And I like, when he wrote me back to be like, oh my God, I love this, it's in. I wrote back, I was like, Trevor the print trafficker, I love you. He's still that guy to me, and now he's risen to this place of power. So Cooper introduces all the programmers, and then Redford gets up to talk. And I'm sure, honestly, he's probably given this speech 1,000 times. He gives this every year. It's director to directors, essentially, talking about indie film and stuff. So I'm leaning in the back of the room and listening to it. I honestly came up because I wanted to get a selfie of Redford and shit. So I'm sitting in the back of the room because I'd never been in the room with him. And all this time, this man is responsible for my good fortune in life, and I never met the dude and shit. So I'm sitting there listening to him, and he starts talking about indie film, in the way that like we all do and stuff. But he starts talking about it as the guy who was there at the beginning. So he's talking about like, you know, I was an actor and I loved weird movies, but there was no home for them. And I always felt like if I could get a little success, one day I could do something about that. Maybe find a place for him to have a home. He's like, and then one day I did get a little success.
Very big on the giving back.
Holy shit, he said that. That's where I started fucking crying. He goes, I believe like and I did, dude. I was sitting in the back of the room bawling while he's talking. I don't know if he saw me, but if he did, he would have been very disturbed. He would have been like, he's got a gun, get him. So I'm sitting there bawling because he goes like, you know, look, I'm very into the Native American community or whatever. He's like, you know, they have a philosophy. Whatever you take out, you got to put back, you got to replace. And he's going, I took out. He's going, I had great success, so I wanted to put back, and that's where Sundance came from. And he goes, we talked about and dreamed about a community of filmmakers. And like when he said that, I just started fucking breaking down, because I remember being a kid and being like, there was no internet. We couldn't reach out to everybody and find each other to be like, how much did you hate that movie? You know, like we didn't know each other yet. So the idea of fucking like this guy talking about building that community blew my hair back, man, fucking destroyed me in the room, because I'm like, without that guy saying that, the dominoes don't fall for me to do what I do for a living and stuff. So if anyone is like, I fucking hate Kevin Smith and his movies, go back in time, take out Redford, and it never fucking happens. But I sat there and I was incredibly fucking moved, and I was crying like crazy. I'm pretty sure Lena Dunham saw me and was like, what the fuck? But I was a real mess, man. It's been a very emotional Sundance for me, and especially because like I'm here with my kid. Henny, who has taken my picture here for years, wonderful photographer, always takes pictures. I met her 22 years ago. I see her at other festivals as well. Like, we took pictures again yesterday, and she took a picture of my kid. And I'm like, oh my God, I got real emotional again. When you're a middle-aged stoner, everything's emotional. But I got real emotional because I'm like, I dreamed about being in this business so fucking badly. I wanted this more than anything in the fucking world. And it kind of worked out. So much so that I've been here 22 years, to the point where the photographer who shot me when I first got here, fresh off the bus, shot my kid. So I was shooting her, shooting my kid because it was so fucking meta, man. All of this has been fucking wonderful for me. I hope the movie is wonderful for other people. I don't know if it's going to go down as well with everybody. It's a very rarefied taste.
Very funny, dude. It's
Thank you.
very funny.
It's a kid's movie. Like, that's the thing.
We got to wrap it up, but I have two things I want to do. We got some questions from the audience. I want to ask this one. You know, Kevin, at the end of the movie, I guess as someone who saw the premiere last night, the credits say the Colleens will be back in Moose Jaws. So what's next in your Canadian trilogy?
The last movie that will finish out the trilogy, the True North trilogy, is Moose Jaws. And it's just Jaws, but with a moose instead of a shark. So all three of the movies have been rubber Canadian monster movies. Tusk, big rubber monster. We've got the Bratzies and the Goalie Golem, and this is the rubber monsters. So the last rubber monster we'll work on is Moose Jaws. It's
Are you
the
putting
big
Justin back in the suit? Is Justin going to go back? He's going to be
I'll
the moose?
totally spoil the third act for you. Do you want to hear it? Like, this is fun. I'll spoil it. Yeah, this is good. This is good. For people that give a shit, believe me, nobody's like, what's going to happen next in the Tusk world, you know? But for the two people that are, this is kind of cool. So at the end of Moose Jaws is like, it's my favorite thing I've ever written. Now, I know a lot of people are like, you're fucking lost, dude, because Clerks, Amy, Dogma. I get it. I love those movies too. But this is a fucking fan film. And like, this is like pouring my heart out on a page. I love fucking Jaws, and I love Canada, and I combine the fucking two of them. So, whole thing is beat for beat Jaws, up until the third act. And then I can write the review right now, man. You could tell the filmmaker got so fucking bored of doing it that the third act becomes 5 different movies. So most of the movie is Jaws, but then in the third act it becomes Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and ends with Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
It's pretty magical. But, and this is the big spoiler, but like, you know, sometimes you gotta throw your hat over the wall to self-actualize something, so maybe the more I talk about Moose Jaws, the more likely it will happen and stuff. Justin, Kim will make it happen, I know, I love Kim to death. Justin returns as Tusk, and he fights Moose Jaws.
My God, it's 6 movies, because then it's Aliens versus Predator.
Yes, yes.
Well, guys, thank you so much. We want to do one more thing. You guys have been amazing, so we're going to take a selfie with all of you guys in the background. We'll put it up on my Deadline Dominic Twitter feed. I hope you'll put it up. Please, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for a wonderful
Thanks for being
Sunday.
here, folks.
Everybody in. We ready? We ready?
Got everybody?
Where's Ralph? I'm here. There you go. Done!
Selfie! Thank you, everybody. Before you leave, just a quick thing, man. It's fun to come up to a film festival and watch a bunch of other people's work. Absolutely. But it's way more fun to do that work yourself. If you're sitting in this room, you probably have an interest in this shit. And I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely fucking possible. Some of you have a fear of failure and stuff. Don't worry about it. I fail all the time, and I'm still here 22 years later. Failure is just success training. So go out and make your fucking yoga hosers, man. Have a good day.
Ch-ch.